Hey guys, on this episode of TVP Tech Talk, we're going to be going over our new product, and that's the AMP Research Steps. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so first off we have our brackets themselves. Now these are side specific, this being the driver's side. You can see because it has the taller standoff. You will have to drill some holes in your Bronco and also run some sheet metal screws. There'll be 2 sheet metal screws mounting the upper support here, and that's going to mount to one of the floor pan support braces that runs along the underside of the Bronco. You'll have 2 holes on this wing here, 1 there. Now those are on the supports for the rocker panel that tie the body in. Also, you'll have 4 holes along the bottom edge. Now those will protrude to the outside of your Bronco, but it's in that small lip where the outer rocker and the inner rocker panel meet, and it's barely visible. The passenger side is going to anchor the same way. All of it's going to be anchored with stainless steel hardware that we provide, and there'll be instructions included so you can reference what hardware to use in what location. Now AMP provides a really nice wiring loom for this kit. Everything is loomed, labeled, there's weather tight connectors. You also are given 4 LED lights. Now you use 2 per side, and that'll illuminate the step as it extends down. The purple wire on the wiring loom itself is your actuator wire, and that'll connect to your door popper that we provide. So as you open the door, the steps will extend down. You can use them. Once the door is shut, there's a slight delay, and then they'll retract back into place. It comes with this small brain box. Also, it's fused and has all your connectors so you can connect to the positive and negative side. Everything is oriented and labeled really clear, so it's pretty easy to install. Now AMP Research is an American-made product. It's really high quality. You can feel the quality when you get these products in your hand. These are your arms. Now this is the motorized arm. When doing this arm will be set up and you'll anchor this motor to it. This will actually give the step its power to retract and extend. Now the other arm is basically an arm that is just there to help support the step itself once it does so it's quite a bit lighter. They have 2 holes here. Now those will mount to the underside of the step itself. There's these small aluminum blocks that run in the track here, and so that can be adjusted to length. And like I stated, we do send these pre-cut to a length that we think looks good on a Bronco, but if you have something else in mind and you want to either have them longer, shorter, or just hold them up there and have it be your own personal aesthetics that set the length of the step, we can sell them full length for you to modify. And to do that modification, all you have to do is remove an end cap with this Allen here, cut to length, clean up your burrs, make sure everything's clean. I do recommend maybe using some blue painter's tape when cutting these so you don't scratch this coating that they have on there. It's a textured coating so your foot doesn't slip getting in and out of the vehicle. But if you take your time, measure twice, cut once, make sure everything's clean when done, reinstall the end cap, it's pretty simple to do. So we'll go over to Lonnie's Bronco and we'll show everything installed. As I said earlier, you will have to drill some holes through the outside of your body, but this is the flange I was referring to. It's barely visible, unless you're looking underneath the vehicle, and even then these smooth socketed type heads are really clean looking. So this is the flange. There's 2 bolts here and 2 bolts here towards the back side. Also, you can see the LED lights that are stuck underneath. I'll go ahead and open the door and we can see the step actuate. So step comes down nice and clean. The LED lights shine down on the step themselves to give you an idea. This is a clean setup. It's really stable. You can put a lot of weight on it. There's very little flex due to the bracket on the back side dispersing the weight. And then once the door is shut, there's a slight delay and the step will retract. Okay, so if we're under Lonnie's Bronco, we're looking at how our brackets are attached and how the AMP steps attach to our brackets. You can see that this is the center support brace, and that runs up and connects to the floor pan support rail that runs from the driver to passenger side right underneath the driver and passenger seat. The front lip and flange has 2 through bolts that connect to this front support here. And then the rear has a small tab that comes out and will connect to the rear support that connects everything. This is where your filler neck would go through if you had your auxiliary tank in place. Now, like I said, unfortunately with these brackets and these steps configuration, you can't run an auxiliary tank. These are the through holes that were drilled earlier after holding up your brackets and marking the place, and then these two studs coming off, those are already anchored to our brackets. They're welded PIM studs, so you're provided lock nuts and flat washers. Now if you look here, this is a jam nut, so it's a shallower nut in comparison to the taller nut that's utilized on the studs. Now that's necessary because as the amp step comes up, if you have this too long, it will impede on your amp step. The wiring, you can see these are your black and red wires that light that power the lights, and then your purple wire, like we stated earlier, here's your actuator, and you can see the motorized arm here, how the motor is bolted and held in place. But once this door shuts, you can see how this step tucks up and is really clean and out of the way.
Thanks for watching. You can always subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give us a like. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call here at TOMS.